90-Day Fiancé. Secret signs Ilesanmi regrets leaving Deem. She's traumatized and crying. There are some clues suggesting Ilesanmi from 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after, has begun to regret leaving Deem. The Nigerian man was in his late 20s when he fell in love with the American grandma on Facebook. He entered into a relationship with her and invited her to live in Nigeria. Michael and Angela showcased their journey in 90-Day Fiancé before the 90-Day Season 2. They didn't let the 22-year age gap become a problem for them and showed that they had the potential to build a future together. While Michael and Angela's relationship started off well, things became troublesome in the later stages. As the two spent more time together, they began to show increasing disrespect towards each other. Michael made a mistake by cheating on Angela early in the relationship. In retaliation, Angela mistreated Michael and lost all trust in him. In early 2020, Michael and Angela tied the knot without addressing their issues, hoping that marriage would improve their relationship. However, the delay in obtaining a visa only exacerbated their issues. After years of emotional and verbal abuse, Michael finally left Angela in February 2024. Michael left Angela a few months after arriving in the United States. He used the show to share his perspective and quickly created social media accounts to capitalize on the controversy. Over the last few months, Michael utilized his social media platforms to share motivation and spread positivity. He has amassed over 188 Instagram followers and has garnered thousands of views as of November 2024. Michael is trying hard to make it appear like he's living the American dream. However, he has only been in the United States for a year and hasn't yet reached any significant milestones. Michael may be doing everything he can to increase his views and follower count. However, he may soon regret leaving Angela once 90-Day Fiancé fans shift their attention to newer cast members. Michael's recent posts indicate that fans are already losing interest in him. His more recent selfies are no longer receiving the same number of views and likes as they were in mid-2024. He and his estranged wife appeared in multiple seasons of different 90-Day Fiancé spin-offs. Angela and Michael showcased their journey in 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after, and 90-Day, the last resort. Michael is likely to have a hard time being just as popular as he was with Angela. It won't be long before he realizes that his estranged wife's dramatic personality made him so famous. Michael has been open about his goals for the last 6 years. He has expressed his desire to become famous, create content for social media, and stay relevant. Unfortunately, the 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after, lacks the personality to thrive on social media platforms. He is way too passive and uncontroversial to be a successful reality TV star. Although Michael may have benefited from his breakup with Angela, he may struggle to progress without her. It's possible he will find it difficult to return to TV, as the network typically only casts members who are scandalous. Over the last few years, Angela has helped pay Michael's bills by sending him her paychecks so he could live peacefully in Nigeria. Michael even pressured Angela to give him more money while secretly saving the cash in a hidden piggy bank account. When Michael ran away from Angela, he had a significant amount of money saved up and probably received a paycheck from the show. He also had a lot of momentum, which helped him in launching his career on social media. In mid-2024, Michael initiated a fundraiser with a goal of $25,000, but ultimately raised over $50,000. With this money, he could afford a nice apartment and gain fame on Instagram as he had always desired. Additionally, Michael created a Cameo account to increase his earnings. Unfortunately, his popularity is dwindling, as evidenced by his only 37 reviews on his Cameo account and his decreased engagement with his posts. It seems inevitable that Michael will soon encounter financial hardships again. Angela will no longer cover his expenses, so he will need to secure a stable job. Angela is more than 2 decades older than Michael, making it challenging for her to find a partner as young as her estranged husband. Being a grandmother of 6, she may feel too old to start a new romantic relationship. Angela's rich history with Michael is something she may not be able to replicate with anyone else. It's possible that Angela still has lingering feelings for Michael, and she may consider taking him back. Angela's self-destructive behavior also suggests she won't hesitate to reconcile with Michael. Over the last 6 years, Angela has been on TV, and she has had enough reasons to end her relationship permanently. Michael's first cheating scandal should have been a red flag that should have been used to end the relationship immediately. Despite this, Angela continued to give Michael more opportunities. Angela appears to be unchanged. She would forgive Michael and take him back if he apologized, as he did in 90 Day Fiancé. Happily ever after, over the past 6 years. The camera zoomed in on Angela Deem, her hands trembling as she cradled her face. Her signature raspy voice cracked under the weight of her words. "I gave him my heart," she whispered to the confessional camera, her eyes glassy with unshed tears. "And now he's gone." Angela's living room, usually alive with her loud laughter and fiery comebacks, now felt hollow. The silence was deafening. The large framed photo of her and Michael smiling on their wedding day loomed like a ghost on the wall, mocking her. She hadn't moved it, couldn't bear to. In Nigeria, miles away, Michael Ilesanmi sat in a small cafe, staring at his phone screen. His thumb hovered over Angela's contact, a part of him aching to call her, to hear her voice one more time. But he didn't. Instead, he slid the phone back into his pocket and looked out the window. The bustling streets around him were a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside his heart. The beginning of the end. Their relationship had always been tumultuous, a roller coaster of love, laughter, and explosive arguments. But somewhere along the way, the cracks had become too wide to ignore. Angela's insecurities, fueled by Michael's social media presence and his inability to assure her of his loyalty, had created a chasm between them. And Michael's desire for independence, his longing to carve out an identity beyond Angela's husband, had only made things worse. The final straw had come during one of their legendary arguments, one that played out on live television. Angela had accused Michael of cheating, waving screenshots of Instagram DMs she had discovered. Michael had denied it vehemently, but the trust between them had already eroded. "I can't do this anymore," Michael had said, his voice steady but his eyes betraying his pain. "I need space, Angela. I need to figure out who I am without all this chaos." Angela had been stunned. For once, she didn't have a quick retort. She had simply watched as Michael walked away, his shoulders heavy with regret. Signs of regret. Now, weeks later, both of them were grappling with the aftermath of their separation. Angela, though outwardly defiant, was crumbling inside. Her nights were sleepless, her mind replaying every fight, every tender moment, every kiss. She hated herself for still loving him, for wanting him back even after all the hurt. Michael, on the other hand, was struggling to adjust to life without Angela. He had thought that leaving would bring him peace, but instead, it had left a gaping hole in his chest. He found himself reaching for his phone in moments of weakness, scrolling through their old photos, rewatching videos of Angela's infectious laughter. One day, as he walked through a crowded market, he caught sight of a woman who looked strikingly like Angela. His heart skipped a beat, his breath catching in his throat. For a moment, he was filled with hope, only to have it dashed when she turned around, revealing a stranger's face. It was then that he realized the depth of his regret. He had left behind not just a partner, but someone who had been his anchor, his biggest cheerleader. Yes, their relationship had been far from perfect, but it had been real. Angela's breakdown. Back in Georgia, Angela was unraveling. Her friends tried to console her, but nothing seemed to help. She had stopped eating, stopped laughing. Even her trademark fiery spirit seemed extinguished. "I feel like I'm drowning," she admitted during a therapy session, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know how to move on from him. I don't even know if I want to." Her therapist encouraged her to focus on self-love, to rediscover who she was outside of her relationship with Michael. But Angela wasn't ready. She couldn't let go, not yet. One night, after a particularly rough day, Angela found herself scrolling through old voicemails. She came across one from Michael, recorded during their early days together. His voice was warm, filled with love and optimism. "I love you, Angie," he had said. "No matter what happens, I'll always love you." Hearing those words broke her. She clutched her phone to her chest, sobbing uncontrollably. The weight of her emotions, the loneliness, the heartbreak, it was too much to bear.